A leaked memo published in the Times newspaper claims that Britain has no overall strategy for leaving the European Union. Furthermore, splits in Prime Minister Theresa May's cabinet could delay a clear negotiating position for 6 more months. The document casts Britain's top team in a chaotic light and is made public as May tries to control key Brexit questions herself, with division among her very own senior ministers. And to discuss this, we're going live to London, where our correspondent Jonathan Sacerdoti joins us now. Good evening to you.
Good evening.
So, Jonathan, how authentic is this document and how seriously is it being taken?
The document certainly seems to be real, but who wrote it and how relevant it is to the government and the cabinet's position is in dispute. It was a big splash on the front page of the Times newspaper this morning, but since then, Theresa May's spokeswoman and the cabinet in general have rallied behind an official line that says that this was not a report of theirs, it was unsolicited, something that they didn't commission or ask for, and therefore not relevant to their actual true position on Brexit. They say that this report originates from Deloitte, one of the biggest consultancy companies in the world, and they seem to have gone to war with Deloitte over the publication of this leaked report, saying that in effect all it was Deloitte touting for business by trying to make the situation sound so bad that only a firm like Deloitte could help sort out the problem.
Interesting. Now, with Theresa May's leadership being put to the test, what is her strategy as far as we know?
That's the problem, you see. Theresa May hasn't yet given much of an idea over what her strategy is going to be. She said things like Brexit means Brexit, but beyond that, she hasn't been very forthcoming with details of how she plans to negotiate once she triggers Article 50, which she wants to do in March. Of course, there is that small issue of a legal challenge to her being able to do that without a government vote, without a parliament vote, excuse me. But she plans to do that nonetheless by March, however the Supreme Court finds. And when she does, it's then that the problem will arise, that nobody seems to know what her position is going to be. She says that strengthens the country's negotiating position, but those opposing her say that it's because she doesn't know what's happening. And the Deloitte report, in fact, they say, has more truth to it than she would like to admit. They believe that she doesn't know what her strategy is going to be and that there are clear divides in the cabinet which are preventing her from coming up with a firm position now.
And how is the division among her senior ministers affecting her move forward?
Of course, the issue has always been one of those who wanted to remain in the EU and those who didn't. The people decided by a small majority that they wished to leave. And so it comes down to the cabinet now to decide how that's going to happen. But there are still, within the cabinet itself and even within the government, more widely speaking, those who are Eurosceptic and those who still wish Britain could remain in the EU. And that's why those divisions might be causing problems for Mrs. May in deciding exactly how hard she wants to go into the negotiations. But the cabinet insist on the whole that they are united. We've heard Boris Johnson speaking about it. We've heard Theresa May speaking about it. They say that they're pressing on with the work they need to do. And while there did appear to be no plan before the referendum itself, they insist that they've been making plans furiously during the 4 months since she became the Prime Minister and will be ready to go in March when they say they want to trigger Article 50.
Jonathan Sacerdoti, until Article 50 is triggered, thanks very much for that.